A very fresh morning to one and all present here. I, Dr. Richa Verma, coordinator of the conference, extends to you all a very warm greeting on behalf of the entire team of Goyal Group of Institution, who has clubbed all of us for the International Conference on Emerging Trends in IoT and Computing Technologies 2022 in association with Taylor and Francis Group, which is organized by Goyal Group of Institution Taylor and Francis Group. This conference to renowned technical schools, universities, institutes, technological thinkers, and researchers across the world to share their innovation and research outcome in technology. Before proceeding further, we will have our traditional, auspicious, and promising lamp lighting ceremony as a tribute to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, wisdom, and education. For seeking the wisest blessing for the same, I invite the to join the lamp lighting ceremony, which is followed by Saraswati Vandana.
Good morning, everyone. We welcome our chief guest, Professor Dr. P.K. Mishra, sir, who has joined us. Good morning, sir.
Sorry. I'm not audible. I'm audible now? Hello?
Audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Sorry for being late. I was traveling and I just reached REC Sonbhadra just now. So I'm sitting in the chamber of director REC Sonbhadra and now I'm joining you. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for bearing with me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. We all are blessed.
So please continue with your program, please.
हमारी संस्कृति, हमारे संस्कार सदा रहे हमारे साथ। भारत के महान ग्रंथों और काव्यों का संपूर्ण संकलन।
Thank you everyone for joining lamp lighting ceremony of Goyal Group of Institution. Now I would like to invite a person who has completed his PhD from NIT Durgapur and has written a number of papers and also have 2 patents which is granted from IP Australia. He is also the reviewer of various journals. Please welcome convener of the conference, Dr. Satyabhushan Verma. He is going to brief you about the conference.
Thank you, Dr. Richa, for inviting me. I, Dr. Satyabhushan Verma, I feel privileged to welcome all the dignitaries present here. The main aim of the International Conference of Emerging Trends in IoT and Computing Technologies 2022 is to encourage students, teachers, researchers, faculties, and active engineers to discover processes and methodologies to converting technical knowledge to applied products. This conference is of 2 days and technical program consists of keynote talks followed by the paper presentation. We received 250 papers from around the globe, out of which 98 papers are selected for the final publication on the basis of plagiarism, quality of the papers, and reviewer comments. For the paper presentation, we have made 3 technical tracks, which is further divided into 7 sessions, and in each session we have session chair with co-session chair. At the end, I just want to wish all the presentee all the very best and go ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for giving all the information about the conference. Now, I would like to invite Director GITM, Dr. Rishi Asthana, sir. Now, he is going to brief you about the Honorable Chief Guest and Guest of Honor. Welcome. But before that, I want to give you a brief introduction about him. He has completed his PhD from University of Petroleum and Engineering Studies, Dehradun, BE from Triple M Gorakhpur, and MTech from BITS Pilani. He has more than 20 years of experience in teaching. He is also the member of IEEE, and he has written more than 50 papers which is published in Reputed Journal, and also guided 5 PhD students. Please welcome our Director GITM, Dr. Rishi Asthana, sir, for welcoming Honorable Chief Guest and Guest of Honor.
Thank you, Richa. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Good morning to all. Honorable Professor P.K. Mishra, sir, Vice Chancellor, AKTU, respected Shri Mahesh Goyal, sir, Chairman, Goyal Group of Institution, respected Manish Gaur, sir, Pro VC of AKTU, Professor Rajiv Srivastav, Dean Alumni, IIT BHU, Professor Gaurav Bansal ji, University of Wisconsin, Greenway, USA, Professor Celestine Evendi from University of Bolton, UK, Dr. Anup Shukla from IIT Jammu, Dr. Ankur Gupta from IIT Jodhpur, Professor Sumalata Tripathi from Lovely Professional University. All directors, deans, HOD members, HODs, faculty members, and my dear researchers. We all know that small minds talk about people, average mind talks about event, but great mind always talks about ideas, innovations, and research. I welcome all the great minds present in the international conference here in this Goyal Group of Institution, and we are blessed to have one of the greatest minds, Honorable Professor P.K. Mishra, sir, Vice Chancellor AKTU, as our chief guest to shower us with blessings and words. He is not only the great academician, as he was a former HOD of Chemical Engineering, IIT BHU, and recipient of many national awards. He is a good administrator, we all know. He was a former Vice Chancellor of Jharkhand Technical University, but a man with super personality who cares for faculty, staff, as well as a student. As a VC of AKTU, in his initial stage, we all know that he is showing his belongingness and care for all disciplines of engineering, pharmacy, management, and other courses. He has mentored us. We all have went to a meeting called by him in his campus in the AKTU, and he has mentored us that how every institutions can progress through achieving grants from ICT and other funding agencies. His efforts towards regulation of academic sessions, which was well affected due to the pandemic, is well appreciated. Now, we all know that this session is now closing, and he has shown us that how the students cannot suffer. In the May, we will be having the third year and fourth year all closed. And again, in the July, the first year and second year will be regulated. It will be closed. And from the August, we will be starting the new session. Thank you, sir, for regulation the academic sessions. His initiatives towards reducing the late examination fees for the students shows his careness towards middle class students and the poor students. Apart from that, recently, he has adopted 11 villages, which shows his careness towards the society. I am dead sure that in his leadership, AKTU will be becoming as a renowned university of India. I heartily welcome you, sir, in this conference and pledge that we will follow all the steps given by you and will contribute in a best possible way for progress of institution and university. Most welcome, sir. I would like to welcome our inspiration source, great motivator, dynamic personality, Honorable Mahesh Agarwal, sir, Chairman, Goyal Group of Institution in this conference. He has always been a support and a guiding factor in our group and always inspires and guides us in all possible ways. His careness towards the Goyal Group of family for every faculty, staff, and students is remarkable. Welcome, sir. I would like to welcome all of you. Know world is very narrow. We have 4 giants of computer science and engineering from different corners of the world. Firstly, I would like to welcome respected Professor Manish Gaur, sir, Pro VC of AKTU, as guest of honor in this conference. He has done the PhD, all of you know that he has done the PhD from United Kingdom, through Commonwealth, which is outstanding as this scholarship is given to the topmost researcher in India. His remarkable contribution towards opening of Center of Advanced Studies, which we are seeing here, and providing facility to work in the best labs in the country in the field of artificial intelligence, robotics, IoT, nanobiotechnology, etc. And for doing MTech in emerging areas of latest technology is well appreciated. We are grateful to have such personality in our conference. As Pro VC of the university, I am sure that you will take this university to the great heights and we will follow and contribute in your guidance and mentorship. Most welcome, sir, in this conference. In the sequence, I would like to welcome Professor Rajiv Srivastava, Professor and Dean Alumni IIT BHU, as well as a renowned academician and administrator in our conference as guest of honor. He has always supported us, whether we can talk about the faculty development programs, delivering expert talks to students, and guiding us in NBA and NAC accreditation preparations. Sir, you will be glad to know that we have already submitted the SAR in the Computer Science and Engineering Department and of the NBA accreditation, and we are waiting for the team to arrive and see our work. I would like to welcome another giant of Computer Science and Engineering, Professor Gaurav Bansal from University of Wisconsin, Green Bay, USA, in our conference as a guest of honor as well as a keynote speaker. In his young age, he has guided many PhD in the field of management information system and received many academic awards. In fact, he is also the batchmate of Professor Rajiv Srivastava of IIT BHU and myself also in the BTech MMM Gorakhpur. We have done, all the three of us have done the engineering from the same institute. Welcome, sir, in the conference. Lastly, in this sequence, another giant. I would like to welcome young genius, senior member of IEEE, distinguished ACM speaker and professor in University of Bolton, United Kingdom, Professor Kilstein Evendi, as guest of honor and keynote speaker in our conference. As you all know that our VC sir always cares for all the branches of engineering, I would like to mention and welcome three personalities. Dr. Suman Lata Tripathi from Electronics and Communication Engineering, lovely professional university. Dr. Anup Shikla from IIT Jammu, Electrical Engineering, and Dr. Ankur Gupta from IIT Jodhpur, Mechanical Engineering, who will be joining that tomorrow as a keynote speaker and in the validity section. I welcome all the session chairs from the different colleges of AKTU. I would also like to welcome all directors of Goel Group of Institutions, as well as some directors of the nearby institutions have also joined in our conference. That is Dr. Bhavesh Chauhan from Ramswarup University, Dr. V.K. Singh from BBD, Dr. Ashutosh Dwivedi from BN Engineering College. Welcome, sir, in this conference. I would like to again welcome all the faculty members, as well as around 1,000 students who have joined in the YouTube channel, which is also live in the YouTube. But not the least, I would like to welcome all great mind researchers in this 2 days marathon, 7 sessions in which they will be showing their presentation about their research. I again welcome VC sir, Pro VC sir, all the dignitaries and all the students as well as researchers, HODs, directors, deans in this conference. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you and most welcome.
Thank you, sir, for welcoming our honorable chief guest and guest of honor. Now I feel privileged to invite Honorable Chairman, Sir, Engineer Mahesh Goyal, sir. He is currently the chairman of Goyal Group of Institution. He strived hard for the welfare of the society at large. He cherished the dream of inculcating moral values in the younger generation through exposure to proper education and ethics to develop this great nation. Goyal Group of Institution under RCRL Trust have been delivering education to all age of young minds in all fields of education. Honorable Chairman, sir, is a civil engineer and he is a great academic mentor and always gives very valuable directions to various wings of engineering to take it to the highest level. Please welcome Honorable Chairman, sir, for the inspirational words.
Thank you, Richa. I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
A very good, warm good morning to all. On behalf of I, Mahesh Goyal, Chairman Goyal Group of Institution, welcoming all our respected dignitaries, especially our VC sir, those who have given the time, Dr. Professor P.K. Misra sir, and Pro VC Manish Gaur sir, those who have given the time for this conference. Sir, you're most welcome, and from bottom of my heart, I'm very great to see you have given this much of time for our conference. Goel Group of Institution always be ready for any type of work and for the education. And we peoples are always trying to give a good innovation and good startup for our students. All the times we people like to do something new as per the university guidelines. And I'm thankful to all my seniors, directors, and faculty and staff members. They have always support us to give a good platform on this trust. Sir, आज हम लोग का जो विजन है, जिसमें कि हमारे कॉलेज का एक ट्रस्ट का पहला विजन है वासुदेव कुटुंबक, उसको हम लोग आज सत्य होते हुए देख रहे हैं. आज इस मीटिंग, इस कॉन्फ्रेंस के जरिए हम पूरे इंटायर वर्ल्ड को जोड़ रहे हैं, और उसके लिए आपका यहाँ पे होना बहुत बहुत हमारे लिए सौभाग्य की बात है. हम चाहते हैं कि हम AKTU के द्वारा जो भी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की जो भी स्कीम्स हैं, उसको हम आगे बढ़ चढ़कर आगे से संस्था के लिए करें. साथ ही मैं बताना चाहूंगा कि विगत 2008 से हम AKTU से जुड़े हुए हैं, और इस 14 साल की अवधि में हमने अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी में गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट और सिल्वर मेडलिस्ट भी आपको दिए हैं, और हम आगे भी निरंतर ये प्रयास करते रहेंगे कि हमारे अच्छे से अच्छी हम पढ़ाई के साथ साथ इनोवेशन और नए आइडियाज को करते रहें. साथ ही मैं अपने सभी डायरेक्टर्स का, सभी लोगों का, जो लोग इस मीटिंग में जुड़े हैं, सभी का हार्दिक अभिनंदन करता हूं, और इस कॉन्फ्रेंस को एक वर्ल्ड इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे सफल होने की शुभकामना करता हूं. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. थैंक यू वेरी मच. ओवर टू.
Thank you, sir. We inspire your integrity with 100% dedication to the world of education. Now we are honored to have Honorable Professor Pradeep Kumar Mishra, sir, as our chief guest of the conference. Sir, I extend a very warm welcome to you on behalf of the entire team of Goel Group of Institution. Before inviting our chief guest, I would like to give a brief introduction about him. Honorable Professor Pradeep Kumar Mishra, sir, is currently serving as a Vice Chancellor of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow. Prior to this, he has also served as a Vice Chancellor of Jharkhand Technical University, Ranchi. He is also a former head of the Department of Chemical Engineering and Dean of Student Affairs at IIT BHU Varanasi. He holds bachelor degree in Chemical Engineering from IIT Roorkee, Masters from IIT Bombay, and PhD from IIT BHU Varanasi. Honorable sir has published more than...
I hope that's enough. Yeah. That's enough. Thank you. It's not required.
So please welcome.
So thank you very much for inviting me for such a important conference wherein all the giants and great researchers pertaining to the field of computing are there on this platform. I hope this event will certainly enrich the area of information technology, computing, and this is the era of information technology, especially the newer field like Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, machine learning, etc. And we have seen the sea change. I do remember those days when I was doing my bachelor's in University of Roorkee, that is IIT Roorkee nowadays. We were using DEC 2050 system. Whole computer center was having one giant computer, and we do punch the cards for simple Fortran programming. So in last 40 years, we have seen tremendous change, and the whole world is now dependent of information technology, computing, even any branch. If you talk about chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, electronics engineering, nobody can survive. It will not change its ways. neither industry nor the society. Everybody has to devise a new methodology. So I'm not expert of computing technology or not the AI or IoT. So I'm not going to waste time on discussing on those things by simply by reading and just repeating. Let me congratulate all the organizers who have done such a wonderful job to invite such a learned colleagues. I have heard the names. So congratulations to Mahesh Agrawal ji, the owner, the chairman of this Goel Group of Institution, convener, organizing secretary, the important resource persons. Professor Rajiv Srivastava is there. Even Suman Lata Tripathi, the name I heard from lovely professional. So nearly all of you are known to me due to some engagement in past. So I congratulate everybody and I give my best wishes to this event so that the deliberation done in the conference can come to the conclusion and can be used as a resource for others. Then only the conference will be successful. Let me congratulate once again. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for inviting me.
Thank you so much, sir. We are indeed grateful to you that in spite of very busy schedule, you have given valuable time to us. Our sincere gratitude to you, sir, on behalf of the entire team of Goyal Group of Institution. Now it's time to release the souvenir of International Conference on Emerging Trends in IoT and Computing Technologies. For the same, I request Mr. Sandeep Srivastav, sir, to please proceed further, and I also request all the dignitaries to please join the release of souvenir.
हाँ कर लो वीडियो ऑन है सर नो इंटरनेट ट्राइंग टू रिकनेक्ट चाहते तो हमको आ गया कट गया क्या आवाज इसमें बंद है क्या म्यूट है क्या हाँ तुम्हारे
Thank you everyone for joining. Now I am inviting Dr. Amrish Gupta sir. He is currently working as Director GIPS Lucknow. He also worked as Associate Professor at Uttar Pradesh University of Medical Sciences, and he has also given his expertise at Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University as the member of Board of Studies. Dr. Amrish Gupta sir has more than 18 years of experience in the field of pharmaceutical sciences, where he has more than 60 research papers under his cap. Please welcome Dr. Amrish Gupta sir in today's conference.
Good morning, everyone. Most respected Professor Dr. P.K. Misra, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow, Engineer Mahesh Agrawal, sir, Chairman, Goel Group of Institution, Lucknow, Dr. Manish Gaur, sir, Pro Vice Chancellor, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow, Dr. Rishi Asthana, Director, Goel Institute of Technology and Management, various eminent professors from reputed institutes of India and abroad, dear faculty members and students. It is indeed a special pleasure and privilege to me to welcome Professor Manish Gaur sir, who is working as a Pro Vice Chancellor at Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University. Dr. Gaur is a professor in computer science at Institute of Engineering and Technology, a constituent college of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow. Currently, Professor Gaur is an adjunct professor at IIT Jammu 2. He has served as a founder director of Center for Advanced Studies at Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University campus from July 2017 until March 2021. The center has come up with the state-of-art laboratories, postgraduate academic programs in the field of cybersecurity, mechatronics, nanotechnology, energy science, and manufacturing and automation under his leadership. His research area can be broadly classified as formal methods and verification of large systems, semantics of concurrent programming language. Professor Gaur is an honorary research fellow of University of Glasgow, UK. He has obtained his doctoral degree in computer science from University of Sussex, UK, MTech in computer science from IIT Delhi, and Bachelor of Engineering from NIT Surat. Professor Gaur's academic track has been extraordinary throughout. He is a recipient of Commonwealth Academic Fellowship in 2012 and Commonwealth Scholarship in 2005 from the Commonwealth Scholarship Commission, UK. Dr. Gaur was awarded the Young Scientist Award from Government of Uttar Pradesh in year 2003 for his contribution in the academic and research. His MTech project was awarded the best project during the academic year 2001-2002 at Department of Computer Science and Engineering at IIT Delhi, leading to the conferment of prestigious Suresh Chand Memorial Award. Dr. Gaur has more than 25 research papers in his credit. His publications are in widely acclaimed journals and conference proceedings. Many consultancy and infrastructure projects from reputed organizations such as Google, Uttar Pradesh Subordinate Service Commission UPSSC are in his credit. He has widely traveled both within the India and abroad, primarily in Western Europe and Middle East, for various academic purposes such as invited talks, conferences, and various project collaboration. He has held various academic and administrative positions at the university and currently associated as Pro Vice Chancellor Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow. Now I would like to request sir to please bless us with his kind words, sir. Professor Manish Gaur, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you very much for inviting me to this prestigious conference. It's indeed a pleasure to be part of this wonderful theme which is being taken up at this conference. To my best understanding, interdisciplinary programs and research are the need of the hour, and maybe the future belongs to this area. So in this field, IoT cannot be, more justified. Most people say that it is about Internet of Things, but to me, it is Internet of everything, in fact. Now, when we take classes in, networking, we often say to students that, IPv6, which is taking over IPv4. Once it has taken over, then you can imagine that in 1 square meter of area, if you install 10 billion sensors, then also IPv6 will be sufficient to provide a distinct external IP addresses. So imagine a world when every part of your body will have a sensor talking to each other and internet actually taking over. Days are not too far when 5G networking will actually enable us to be virtually present everywhere across the world in fraction of seconds. So in this scenario, Internet of Things cannot be more apt field to study, research, and progress. So this is a wonderful theme which is taken up by Goel Group of Institutions. Uh, and I particularly thank Professor P.K. Mishra sir, Vice Chancellor of AKTU, who has taken this lead to encourage each and everyone to be part of this endeavor, where research is taken as a theme progress for any university development. So this is going to be a benchmark for quality. This is going to be benchmark for faculty development. This is going to be benchmark for student development as well. So in this endeavor, this is one of the most precious moment for me. I am thankful that you made me part of this ceremony. Also, I would like to, inform, one of the initiative that I took, while I was director of Center for Advanced Studies, and I encourage, the institutions to take up the same forward, because, in coming days, you are going to see that, these compartmentalization of branches will no longer exist. So there won't be something like civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and so on and so forth. If you recall old days, when Britishers introduced engineering education in the country, it used to be only military education, BTech in military engineering. So military engineering means, it encompasses every engineering into one, umbrella, and it was civil, mechanical, and electrical. Now later on, we compartmentalized, everything as a separate, divisions. And the irony of this fact is that once a student enters into a branch, he gets disconnected to other branch. This is we none of us actually want that, but this is what happens. Electrical engineering will not interact to computer science will not interact to mechanical engineering, and so on and so forth. This compartmentalization has happened all across the world. Now, but things are now fast converging. So in Center for Advanced Studies, we promoted that we will not have the concept of departments, and accordingly, there is no department or compartmentalization. But for the administrative governance, and so we have, certain coordinators who are coordinating the program. So for example, mechatronics is not a branch of mechanical engineering alone. It belongs to electronics engineering. It belongs to computer science. It belongs to electrical engineering as well. So, it is not possible to compartmentalize, things along these lines. So, in coming days, you will see an AICT new education policy. Everybody is pushing along the same line that we should relinquish the boundaries of the department, and interdisciplinary programs should be promoted, and more interaction should be encouraged. I would like to share one experience. I was attending an interview at IIT Jodhpur long back when I returned back from England. I got selected there also. One of the questions which was asked by the expert at the last, that I come from theoretical computer science. So he said that you come from theoretical computer science, but can you tell me which branch a product called helicopter belongs to? And I was stunned. In fact, if you look at helicopter belongs to electronics engineering, it belongs to mechanical engineering, it belongs to many other disciplines. It belongs to aviation, aeronautical studies. Not only that, it belongs to design also. The upholstery which is there inside, the way you sit, the way you keep your water bottle, etc., etc. This is all part of design. So, so everything is culminated into one, product. And if you look at any product in the market, it is the culmination of all branches of studies. Can you imagine combustion chamber technology without chemical engineering? Can you imagine, a car without mechanical engineering, computer science, AI, etc., etc.? So everything is culminating, and in that endeavor, IoT is a great platform, which in fact, helps us to take up the research forward. So not taking too much time because, inaugural ceremonies are just, very, very formal, and boring kind of, event. So better, you start with the track and your sessions and all those things. So I compliment the organizers, especially the chairman, who has taken pain to organize this, the director, all the deans, faculty members who are present here, and top of it, Professor Rajiv Srivastava is a good friend of mine, has been very good or very past. So, he's contributing here. And also, I would like to thank on the top of everything, Professor P.K. Mishra, sir, the Vice Chancellor, who in his leadership, things are progressing fast at the university. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your amazing experience and your valuable words. Thank you, sir. Now it's time to invite our next guest of honor, Professor Rajiv Srivastava, sir. But before inviting, I would like to give a brief introduction about him. Professor Rajiv Srivastava, sir, is presently the Dean of Resource and Alumni Affairs of IIT BHU, Head of Center for Computing and Information Services, IIT BHU, Chairman of Investment Committee, Convener of Department of Web Management Committee, and he has 23 years of teaching experience and vast administrative experience. His research areas includes image processing, computer vision, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and related fields. Professor Rajiv Srivastava is also the reviewer of reputed international journals such as IEEE Transactions and Industrial Electronics, IEEE Access, and Neural Computing. He is also the member of editorial board. He is the member of Technical Program Committee and reviewer of more than 50 international conferences. He is also the PhD thesis examiner of various universities such as IITs, NITs, JNU, and there are many more things to explore about him. So please welcome our guest of honor, Professor Rajiv Srivastava, sir. Now he is going to share his valuable words with us. Please welcome Rajiv Srivastava, sir.
Thank you, Richa. Thank you all, Honorable Vice Chancellor, AKTU, Professor P.K. Mishra, Professor Manoj Gaur, Pro Vice Chancellor, AKTU, Chairman of Goyal Group of Institutions, Engineer Mahesh Agrawal, Director of Goyal Institute of Technology and Management, Professor ICEICT-2022, other dignitaries present here, faculty members, students, and participants. It's my pleasure to be here to share my thoughts. At first, it's my pleasure, and as well as I would like to congratulate the organizers of this particular specific conference, that is your International Conference on Emerging Trends in IoT and Computing Technologies. Is IoT as well as computing technologies. These are the two broad areas that are going to be covered. And I am sure that this particular platform, this particular conference will provide a platform where researchers from various disciplines will be able to present their papers, present their technical work, share their ideas, and broadening the knowledge base. And they will be also coming up with the various technological solutions that will be helpful to the society. Because as a technology person, as a technologist, as an engineer, as a scientist, our goal is to provide solutions to the society. Since the major theme is your IoT, Internet of Things, Professor Manish has already outlined on this particular theme. It is not just a particular keyword, rather than it is a Internet of Things, but it is Internet of everything. If we talk about IoT, then we can talk about its first era. In first era, we talked about the interconnection of various devices, which were embedded through devices, sensors, actuators, everything, home appliances connected through internet which were embedded with electronics and software, which can aggregate the data, transfer the data, as well as communicate with each other. These were the things when we were talking about the physical connectivity of the devices, data transfer, data aggregation, cloud computing, etc. But nowadays we are living in current era of revolution, where things have become more intelligent. Now, with the advancement in the research in the area of AI, machine learning, deep learning, computer vision, all are being applied to this particular area. Now we are talking about edge computing, intelligent computing, smart cameras, etc. And IoT is not limited to a specific area. It has found its application in every domain, including education, healthcare, agriculture, security and surveillance, smart mobility and transportation, smart cities, anywhere. If you go through the specific applications, there are many applications, many projects which students can explore as per their interest. For example, if you talk about the IoT application in healthcare area, then they may think of developing product, doing research in the areas of remote health monitoring and emergency notification. For example, monitoring of blood pressure, sugar, heart rate, monitors, means design of devices and entertainment, wristbands, etc. These are some of the examples in biomedical electronics embedded with IoT. And these are now the intelligent things. IoT enabled security and surveillance can also be used for in agriculture application area. For example, vegetation index monitoring, deforestation, flood monitoring, etc. Means everywhere in every field you will find its application. Means combining a specific algorithm with new areas of technology, machine learning and deep learning to enable correct object classification with the use of IoTs. And when this is for the students who are going to start their studies in IoT area. At first, they should start with the discussion, they should start with gaining knowledge that what are the IoT components. The IoT component is not about just only the physical connectivity of the devices, rather than it has 6 components. Broadly, we can classify it into 6 components. First, it starts with, you can say, physical connectivity, physical connection and exploring with the connectivity of the devices. Next thing comes with the data collection. Here we study about how the data collections can be done through sensors, actuators, and how this data will be stored. Then we also study about the databases, storage, cloud, etc. Then next component, IoT, that is to be taken care of is your data transport and access. That is communication part. Here, some specific subfield areas come to be cloud and distributed computing, wireless sensor networks, ubiquitous computing. Then next important part where nowadays every industry is emphasizing is data analytics part. You can do data analytics only if you have big data. And here we talk about artificial intelligence, computer vision, machine learning, deep learning, NLP, information retrieval, etc. Then fifth component may be data value defined by action, means analysis to action. Means here we talk about development of various application programming interfaces, APIs, software, etc. Then last component is your human value, apps and experiences. Means after going through these technologies, how to design the prototype and how to integrate the hardware and software. I mean, these are the basically 6 components broadly we can define, which can be clubbed and can be. So I am sure. And apart from this IoT, there are many sub areas in computing technologies which will be explored. And with this, I'm just going to these were some specific inputs that I would like to share here. And I am sure that this particular platform will provide this particular conference will provide a platform where researchers will come together, share their thoughts, and enriched with the knowledge of the experts joining this conference. Thank you all. All the best.
Thank you so much, sir, for your motivating words and valuable words. Thank you once again. Now I would like to invite our next guest of honor, Professor Gaurav Bansal, sir, from University of Wisconsin, Green Bay, United States of America. Let us have a brief introduction about him. He is also a member of Association for Information System. He is the past president of the Midwest Association for Information System and served as the founding chair and academic director of the Master of Science in Data Science program at University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. The program received the prestigious University Professional and Continuing Education Association Award in the year 2018. He earned his PhD from University of Wisconsin, MBA from Kent State University, Ohio. He received his bachelor's in mechanical engineering from M University of Technology, Gorakhpur, India. He currently serves as an editor-in-chief for the Journal of Information Technology. He is also on the editorial review board for several journals like Journal of Computer Engineering System, Journal of Global IT Management, and many more. His papers were nominated for the Best Paper Award at America's Conference for Information System. And also he received Best Paper Award at Midwest Association for Information System. Dr. Bansal sir has awarded twice with the prestigious University of Wisconsin Green Bay Founder Award, first for the collaborative achievement and second for the excellence in scholarship. He was recognized as Wisconsin Teaching Fellow. Before starting his academic career, he worked as a quality assurance engineer for General Motors India. There are many more things to explore about him. Now please welcome Dr. Gaurav Bansal sir for his valuable words. Please welcome sir. Kindly unmute yourself.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, Director Asthana. Thank you, Dr. Verma. Really an honor to be here. Can you all hear me well?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Rajiv Srivastava. Very nice introduction. It's nice to see you again for a long time. And I don't know how to introduce. I think you have given such a rich introduction. Really, thank you for that. I think I will be having a speech, right, again after like 20 minutes or so. But at this time, I will only like to say that in 2014 and 15, when we launched the Masters of Science in Data Science program, in the US, there was not, I don't remember any other program at that time which was offering any Masters or Bachelors of Data Science in 2014 and 15 area. We were among the first one to even think of the whole program and launch it. We asked industry people, what do you think of data science? And there was not very clear-cut understanding of what data science is. There was not very clear understanding of what curriculum will look like. And we launched it in 2015. We were not sure at the time that it will become so successful that now even high schools are introducing data analytics courses now. It has become so popular, the data. And as Dr. Rajiv mentioned about IoT, they are only set to grow. So at this time, I think having this conference and having this conversation on what is needed, what skills are needed, to propel it further so that our students can contribute positively to the new economy of data. So I will talk more about it, what my perspectives are coming from India, getting education in India, starting a data science program in the US here where, it was not many people knew about it. So I will offer my perspective on, I prepared my slides, on what I think, what is basically best of both the systems. Obviously, we both the systems, US and India, can learn from each other. And I've tried to put together some of my thoughts on my own reflection on what type of education system, what type of a student, especially in this data science age, what type of curriculum is needed. So I will share my thoughts on that, I think like 20 minutes or so. But I will be open to, answer any questions if you have anything for me. So I will take a pause and see if you have any question for me to to consider at this time.
Thank you, Dr. Gaurav. Thank you. We will be meeting you after 10 minutes. Okay,
Sure, I will be here. Yeah.
for your presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rajiv. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your valuable words also. Now I would like to invite next guest of honor, Dr. Celestine Ivandi. And seriously, we could easily run out of words while describing his achievements, but in few words, it can be said that he is what a great academic mentor and teacher should be. He is a PhD in electronics from University of Aberdeen, United Kingdom, MSc from Uppsala University. He has mentored and supervised students in graduate and postgraduate level and contributed to their intellectual growth, helped them to gain new perspective on topics. He also focuses on providing high quality teaching and innovative learning with research based learning and a practical do it yourself approach. He believes in being actively involved in all aspects of academia, design of appropriate teaching, assessment methodologies, development of individual teaching materials, as well as motivating students to attain their full academic potential. His major research interest and research subject specializations are artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, Internet of Things, machine learning, wireless sensor networks, and communication system. He is also expert in teaching business literary and employment skills, research methods, Internet of Things, robotics, and artificial intelligence. So let's welcome the man with such varied and rich experience to say few words of encouragement. Please welcome Dr. Celestine Ivandi for listening valuable words. Please welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. I greet everyone. It's very early here. I had to wake up because I worked in the night. So it's 6 a.m. here in United Kingdom. You know, so most times when I speak in India, I battle to be awake because I work in the night. So, but I'm glad to be here. At least I prepared and I'm ready for the talk. But what I want to leave you behind, I'll be talking a little bit more on the next generation artificial intelligence, how it has to be with IoT. Most of you call it Internet of Things, but I call it intelligence of things. Being able to bring artificial intelligence into this. I will showcase what we are doing in the University of Bolton here, you know, how we are using the School of Creative Technology, how we are being creative with it. One thing we have understood that we have learned, we keep learning. I receive a lot of papers from my friends from India, is that our students are losing the capacity to be creative. You know, and then our job is to make them know that creativity is science, creativity is computing, creativity is engineering. So we are bringing, I personally try to teach my students to go back to the basis of creativity. Number two, I also tell them to link up, and that's what we'll be looking at today. You know, link up to people. I always say that the more people you know, the more the channel of miracles. If you know more people, you have more publication. If you know more people, you have your H index. If you know more people, you can increase, you know, and who you follow. You can increase in the university index. Who inspires you? Some of these people are not even in LinkedIn. And then you say you're looking for a job. You know, who you know determines what you produce. You know, somebody told me, say, oh, I want you to be my mentor, Professor Celestine. I say, yes, if I want to be your mentor, I will also be your tormentor. You know, because you cannot accept mentor without accepting tormentor. And tormentor is to give you things to do, to charge you up, to make you know that you have to learn. You know, and someone says, oh, you are awake 3 a.m. at work. I say, yes. If you sleep 8 hours of your life and you live 75 years, you know, you have slept 25 years of your life. You know, so people who are there, our youths are, we need to spur them up into this. And that is why we'll give you the brief on artificial intelligence. And, you know, in every life, there are stages. I can tell you a whole lot, you know, I haven't traveled around, being the first colored person that broke record in Sweden as a board member, you know, and then someone said, oh, you're just been in this university 8 months and you have 26 publications. I said, because you know people. That is why I said, the more people you know, we guarantee your blessing success in your career. Of course, we know that every level, has every devil, but then you have to prepare for the devil, and the devil you have to prepare is your motivation, ability to motivate yourself every day into what you do. So today,
session of our two-day international conference on emerging trends in IoT and computing technologies, that is ICEICT-2022. First, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our chief guest, Professor Pradeep Kumar Mishra, Honorable Vice Chancellor of our Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, under whose able guidance our university is surely bound to gain new heights. He has blessed us with his presence and motivated us with his wise words, despite his extremely busy schedule. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our guest of honor, Professor Manish Gaur, Honorable Pro-Vice Chancellor of our university, a very dynamic personality, has been associated with the university since long, for blessing us with his presence and inspirational words. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our guest of honor, Professor Rajiv Srivastava, sir, from IIT BHU, for blessing us with his presence and his inspirational words. And he also gave us a brief introduction about IoT. Thank you very much, sir. Next, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our guest of honor, Professor Gaurav Bansal from University of Wisconsin, Green Bay, USA, for inspiring us with his presence and inspirational words on data science. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our guest of honor, Professor Celestine Avenji from University of Bolton, UK, for inspiring us with his presence and inspirational words. Thank you, sir. You have really given us a very good idea about the artificial intelligence, and I hope it will help us a lot. Now, next, my special thanks to our honorable chairman, sir, Engineer Mahesh Goyal, under whose dynamic vision our group is going higher day by day for able leadership and vice versa. Thank you, sir. Now, my special thanks to our directors, Dr. Rishi Asthana and Dr. Amresh Gupta, sir, who conceived this idea for this international conference, and now this is taking place. Thank you, sir. My sincere thanks to Dr. Suman Lata Tripathi, ma'am, from Lovely Professional University, who ensured that the idea materializes with the Association of Tadlow Francis Group, CRC Press. Thank you, ma'am. Last but not least, special thanks to two persons who worked day and night for last 6 months to make sure that this conference takes place. Dr. Vipin Kumar Singh, who has just left us to another institute, and Dr. Satyabhushan Verma, sir, who is also the chairman for this conference. Thank you, friends. Next, my sincere thanks to all our directors, deans, principals, heads, faculty, and staff. You have contributed in many ways to make the dream become a reality. I feel proud to be part of this event, and I would like to extend my sincere thanks to all the dignitaries. To me, all participants are dignitaries, as we often say, Atithi Devo Bhava, who have been part of this conference and witnessed this occasion. Thank you, friends. And once again, my sincere thanks to all near and dear who have contributed to make this event.
Word of thanks. Now it's time to hear knowledgeable session by our first keynote speaker of today's conference. Please welcome eminent personality Professor Gaurav Bansal, sir, from the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay, United States of America. Sir, you are requested to take this session and proceed further.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I would like it to be like interactive, so please interrupt me, ask questions, pause me, because it should feel like I'm talking to real people, even though I'm kind of virtual. But I encourage you all questions. You can use your chat window, and so please, I will ask somebody to moderate the chat window and screen to be shared. Can I?
Perspective. How do we blend IoT and cloud and AI and data analytics? How do we move it into cybersecurity, augmented reality, virtual reality? Like I was talking about the judge or the magistrate. How does he treat a case when he does not understand virtual reality? Because a lot of things is happening now, even in the jurisdiction, in crime control. How do we use that to dictate the face in a crowd of an incident that has happened? It's not just using CCTV. How do we use artificial intelligence in this area? Or how do we apply it in additive manufacturing? These are all the building blocks of Industry 4.0 that we have come into. But then you now look at the design principles of this. We talk about interoperability, where we use cyber physical system, workplace carriers. We combine with assembly stations and products, and then we bring up the humans and smart factories to connect and communicate with each other using the Internet of Things that we are working in this conference, and also the Internet of Services. It's not just the IoT, but iOS. How do we bring up the Internet of Things and make it work with Internet of Services so that we can have this blended system together working? How do we visualize? Then we'll talk about the visualization, where we have a virtual copy of the smart factory created by linking sensor data, especially for monitoring physical processes. There was one we created in Niger Delta, where we had people who come into the pipeline, to scoop the pipeline, and sometimes it explodes because there will be some sparkling, and then a whole lot of people are dying. So we were brought into the pipeline to analyze this system. So what my job was to design IoT system, that could detect movement of people up to 1 kilometer in that range, and then send that signal to base station. And then my other one was also to look at the security aspect of it, in case you have an intruder that comes in to kind of distort the data that is being generated. So with the virtual plant models and simulation models, we were able to analyze that and got that power and pipeline control, under control. Then you look at the decentralization, the ability of cyber physical systems within smart factories to make decisions on their own. It's also part where we talk about supervised and unsupervised learning when you use artificial intelligence. Because what we have now that most our students are using is using what we call supervised learning, where everything, you have this algorithm, so you train to that algorithm, and then after some time the algorithm, so you are controlling. But we are moving into the next generation where we want the data itself, that is unsupervised. We want the data itself to do its own work without you controlling it. And someone say, oh, what are you going to do? Are you going to create a problem where the data can be controlling the humans? I say, no, but an ability where the data can function so that it's not limited. So that the data function, then we can actually know what limitation are we putting to this data that we're generating. And we're saying, oh, because we have created the model, we have created the algorithm that limits the advantages of this artificial intelligence. Then we look at the real-time capability. The capability to collect, to analyze data, and provide the insights immediately. That is real time. How do we make it real time? Especially what is happening now, what happened during the pandemic. If pandemic happens again, most universities will not be in session. Why? Because especially the engineering universities, because we are developing something here where our students can work with prototype of what we are doing and connect with us in cloud, and then being able to do the experiment even while in their home, and then submit the data even through the cloud, and we can analyze it in the office. So while we are preparing for if we have this kind of pandemic, that took everybody unawares and killed a whole lot of people. So we are looking at a situation where we can have a real-time ability in analyzing these issues. We're bringing up in Industry 5.0. Now, look at the service orientation example. Offering of services of cyber physical systems, humans and smart factories via the Internet of Services. These are huge areas of research that we have still not dealt in full. Now, flexibility adaptation of smart factories for changing the requirements of individual models. These are the design principles that made up Industry 4.0. Then look at it again. In other words, we have brought in what we call autonomous systems. We have looked at simulation models like digital twins. I know some of you are researching in that area. We have also looked at vertical and horizontal integration. How do we integrate this system? And like I've mentioned, connectivity with the Internet of Things. Then, very important aspect, security. And most of the problem with security is actually on individual security. We have not had this kind of idea where all the security model, prototype, is being analyzed in such a way that we all know where the problems are coming from. Then, of course, we have the big data, the big data and the AI, where we have the cloud system. One of my special issue was just released this morning on the cloud, advancement of cloud. If you can Google my name and see it in my LinkedIn, the advancement of cloud from Journal of Cloud Computing, and then I was looking at, when I was writing the proposal, I was looking at a situation where, what can we do with the cloud? How can we authenticate the security in cloud? What can we manipulate in cloud? Can someone go in and do a whole lot? So it's a whole lot of recent advancement in cloud and what we expect to happen in future. Now, look at visualization and augmented reality. This is another area that I mentioned, where information can be manipulated. You that were not in crime scene can be put in crime scene, even without your knowledge. Additive manufacturing, like I've mentioned, or full cloud computing. These are what made up Industry 4.0. But I'm moving higher. Now, what are the security risks? I told you, which is very important. And this is my special area. We look at the breadth of risk we require a secure, vigilant, resilient approach to understand the dangers and address this threat. Now, the war started between Ukraine and Russia started with cyber war. If anybody has been following that law, cyber war. So we are now, and then the EU that I'm in, we are preparing for cyber war. And as a Swedish person, we are also preparing because of the threats we are receiving, from Russia. So we are prepared, And someone say, "Oh, what can we do?" I say, "Oh, we can do a whole lot more than weapon." If you are into security, you can do a whole lot because you can manipulate, you can control, you can control weapons, you can control missiles from your home by security, because you can penetrate anything if you know what you are doing. So everybody is getting ready, because the war is not just how much you have, it's not how much ammunition you have. No, it's who has the power to control. Who has the power? When you control, who can control what you have controlled? That is where we are going to. So that you can even have your device, you can have your phone in your hand, but you are not the one receiving the phone call. You are not the one pressing what will happen in the phone call. That is the level we are moving into, that we can happen with artificial intelligence. So we take a measure, risk-based approach to what is secured and how to secure it, and then how do we check the intellectual property? How do we make it safe? How do we apply it in supply chain or in a different environment that is vulnerable? Or how do we become vigilant with this? Continually monitor the system, network, because most of the time, so a company called me from Africa and said, "Oh, Celestine, we have a problem. Our bank system has been hacked and millions have already been removed in the face of 5 minutes." And then I was like, "Whatever you are doing, don't shut down the computer, because if you shut it down, you have closed 90% of locating where that attack is coming from." So these are the things we know in cybersecurity. And someone like, "Oh, how do we use it?" I say, "Yes, don't shut it down. We can do a whole trace back to know where it came from." So after 1 or 2 advices, and then the system was able to restore, and then the perpetrators were located. So we continually, because a slip on someone who is managing your security team or laxity of work can cause a whole problem. For 3 months, a whole secured system in America, we are not able to locate that there was an intruder in their system. And you know what it is? In 3 months, a whole lot of information have been taken. So these are the things that happen. The people that monitor, that control the monitoring system. Do you have a monitoring system that monitor the monitoring system? Or do you have a monitoring system that monitor the networks? The devices, the personnel, and the environment for possible threats. So we have real-time threat intelligence, and AI are often required to understand harmful actions. Because the world is lovely, the world is a peaceful place, but some people don't want to have peace. So because some people don't want to have, you have to be prepared. You don't wait for them to attack you before you wake up. No, you have to wake up. That is the aim of artificial intelligence, Industry 5.0, bringing normality. You have to be awake. You have to be alert. Like what I tell my students, you read ahead of the teacher. That is the only way you learn. So you prepare for whatever is going to happen. See, COVID-19 took everybody by surprise. Even when we're saying artificial intelligence is important, no. But after he has killed a whole lot of people, money started coming out. But if we have this, artificial intelligence has to do with prevention, but if we have this prevention in place, so many people wouldn't have died. They would have been, ahead thinking. But now the world is coming together and say, let this not happen again. That means we are woken up to now know that a whole lot of threats. And that is why EU is leading to quickly identify threats across the multitude of new connected devices that have been introduced. Because every day things are coming up, but nobody is looking at what is the power of the harmful thing that you are creating. So it has also to be resilient. Accident could happen. How would the organization respond? How long will it take to recover? These are the things. If anybody hacks into your system, because once someone say, I don't want to be online, I don't want to be on Facebook. I say, if you're not on Facebook, somebody can put you on Facebook. If you're not on LinkedIn, you will be put in LinkedIn. If you're not on TikTok, they will put you in TikTok and put your pictures there. So what do? You put one. I told them, well, the only thing is, if you're someone who is popular, put yourself there, so that, and then let them know that this is your verified page. Because if you don't have, they will put you without you knowing. You'll be seeing your pictures flying everywhere. So how do you recover? And then you start recovering that, including YouTube. So how quickly could you remediate the effects of an incident? These are Industry 4.0 security risks. So an industry moves to capture the business value that comes with Industry 4.0. So we need to address the cyber risk landscape with a secure, vigilant, resilient response. This is largely greater, is much more in need. And I'm very happy with what the government in India is doing, trying to bring in machine learning, and creating a whole lot of industry to move it. But it's not just to bring a vision. Most of the problem is, how do we make this vision a reality? And it comes from the university. If the university is no more a research center, a future thinking, a tomorrow thinking ability, a tomorrow thinker. If you are no longer a tomorrow thinker, you'll be battling with the past. And if you battle with the past, you cannot make any gain in the future. So if the industry is creating, the company and the government is creating, they are expecting the academics to lead the way. We all know what the industry do. Industry are just there for their own benefit, make their own thing, make their own security, limit it to themselves, and then make money. But no, the academics is there to expand the scope of what we can do, of what the brain can do. So the term Industry 4.0, like now we are in Industry 4.0, refers to people. People, because without the people, we can't get done in a way that will affect humanity. Working alongside robots and smart machines. So it's about robots helping humans to work better and faster by leveraging advanced technologies like the Internet of Things we are discussing in this conference and big data. So we are adding personal human touch to the Industry 4.0 pillars of automation and efficiency. You see, so many companies are still working hard on the digitalization of the business, like I said, to achieve the competitive advantages of the Industry 4.0, such as scalability, process automation, and thereby improve productivity, improve efficiency, support of flexibility and agility to generate a better customer experience, higher revenues, and an increased profitability. So, but despite the continued transformation process by digitalization within this Industry 4.0, there are some entrepreneurs who are looking into the future. Remember, entrepreneurs we are talking about comes sometimes from even your PhD thesis, from master student innovation, from creativity. So we do not see the business processes and the organizations as they are. We try to look at it differently. When they brought me in, UK government brought me into a company called Sentinel. I could train the bees in 5 minutes to detect weapons. To train a dog takes like 6 months and a whole lot of money, like £50,000 to train a dog that could sniff. But we train honeybees in 5 minutes. And when I applied this, I'm like, hey, How do you know? I said, no, because you can think the bees has a powerful smell more than the dogs to sniff. So a whole lot. We had issues with the agric because they felt, oh, we are trying to kill the bees and all that. Then I entered into using IoT sensors to do a particular sniffing at a particular time, in the industry. So these are the kind of creativity we are looking for. How you can make this happen, technological in development, bringing human into it, grow with high speed, so that Industry 5.0, like we have said, is already becoming part of the show. And how do we prevent it? So Industry 5.0 will encompass a wide range of concepts as digitalization, automation, standardization, dynamic and secure network, miniaturization, as well as incremental and mechanical and general innovation. Look at that. If I enter into artificial intelligence on energy system, we will not leave this conference, because these are huge areas of investment, huge areas of research. Imagine the European economy, EESC, describe Industry 5.0 as a focus that combine human beings, creativity, craftsmanship with the speed, productivity, and consistency of robots. So what do we need to do in Industry 5.0? Clear change. Mass automation. And someone will say, oh, no, we are too many in India. Mass automation will mean losing our job. No, it will create more job to the process of enhancing capabilities of human workers for achieving personalization by product customization to the next level. So our future questions will have to be, what skills do I need to develop? That's why we are in this conference. What skill do I need to develop? What kind of rules between human and machine interaction have to be defined? And which impact will AI have that will not bring conflict between humans and AI? These are the lingering questions that has to be answered. So, next generation AI, supervised learning, represents a narrow and circumscribed form of learning. Rather than being able, remember I was just trying to explain it before, rather than being able to explore and absorb all the latent information. So we have made supervised learning, especially machine learning, or we have made it that we can't get the latent information. What are the relationships and implications in a given data set? So supervised algorithms orient only to the concept and categories that researchers have identified ahead of time. Now, in contrast, unsupervised learning is an approach to AI in which algorithms learn from data without human-provided labels or guidance. We want to see what the data is capable of doing. So the next AI revolution will not be supervised, according to AI legend. In simple terms, ability to predict everything from everything else. That is the next AI that we are moving to. So in coming down, trying to round up on this fine topic, the launch of the next generation by China soon in 2030, the State Council of already is targeting. They want to be the global leader in the development of artificial intelligence, theory and technology. What do they want to focus on? 5 areas. And these are the 5 areas that can make them continue to be the world leader. They want to have ability to have big data intelligence, so with the ability to transform big data into insights, and then renders an optimized engagement capability that will involve the active agents, including the big data intelligence strategists, intelligent BI analysts, and also look at the data intelligence warehouse architects, data scientists, and how they will implement it with even developing experts. As we speak now, I've been called by the state, the China State, Council to help in one of these research. And you know how much they're paying? They say you will have 1 million RMB for 1 year for free. So it's so tempting for you to if you're going to have 1 million for free, and you do other things you are doing, everybody will want to run there, because of the targets they have set. And then you see most of the PhD students are free PhD students, free scholarship, up and down. You see, so they are backing these ideas, trying to bring the best of the world into their system. Look at number 2 idea, crowd intelligence. They want essentially internet-based collective intelligence from 2030. Crowd collective intelligence. Of course, you know what that is. cross-media intelligence, integrating data-driven machine learning with human knowledge, using cross-media data and make prediction, recognition, analysis, and reasoning of this data. Then another area is hybrid augmented intelligence, where they create a hybrid collaboration between humans and machine. Long-term goal is to make machine think like humans. If you follow the news, CCL primary school students were brought together and some nodes were put on them to make them do the same thing, to know who is not collaborating and who is not moving at the same time. So they are already working in such a situation where the machine will be more powerful. What they are trying to combine in terms of the hybrid will be more powerful than machine or human intelligence. You see, so the next is unmanned autonomous system. They want to use the next step in the fusion of mechanical system, computing technologies, sensors, and software to create intelligent system capable of interacting with the complexities of the real world. So we are in for a ride from 2030. We already know most of us are using what they do in a company started it even before every other person started making it, and then they put it in Mudinga metro station in Beijing, where they use the AI power system and all that to check COVID-19. And they're still creating a lot of things. So harnessing rapid technology change for inclusive and sustainable development, not just creating. How do we sustain it? How do we explore space technologies for sustainable development and the benefits of international research collaboration in this context? So we have to bring science, not just talking about it. We have to bring science, technology, and innovation closer to production sectors. You see, and then I'll give you these other ones before we move up. 3 essential facts about Industry 5.0. It is not aimed at supporting, not superseding humans. That's number one. So don't make the mistake of saying, oh, robotics is there to take my job. No, it's an opportunity to eliminate headcount and replace workers or who perform repetitive tasks on assembly line. No, you need workers who are capable of making judgments a lot. So don't say admission is no, we will still need the human. There are things human cannot still create. No matter how we create a robot, the ability to think is ability. The robot thinks based on the data that you have imparted into that robot. They can't think on their own. Humans can still think and make that judgment. So you end up with some problems that are hard to solve when you create a robot to have a judgment of its own. So even Tesla, Elon Musk, he admitted that excessive automation at his company was a mistake, tweeting that humans are underrated. That is why we have Industry 5.0, bringing humans to the scene. It's about finding the optimal balance of efficiency and productivity. It's about interconnecting machines, processes. It's about systems for maximum performance optimization. So we talk about efficiency a step further when we talk about Industry 5.0. It's about refining the collaborative interaction between humans and machine. So the progress of Industry 5.0 is definitely unavoidable. And also, ability to bring it in the manufacturing world is another event horizon. Given that efficiencies that can be gained, we are well past of that going point. Not just gain, we have to look at more, especially on my area, security issues. How do we integrate? Look at the first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation talks about ambiguous production and control, cyber threats, physical threats. We are now into the fifth. What do we expect? How do we integrate vulnerable system? Using systematic reach, such as total network collapse. Can we have total network collapse? Yes, it has happened. Banks every time I hack every day, they're hacked and they pay a whole lot of money. Some people are making billions from hacking other people. Extreme connectivity creates new social and political structures. Some governments are using it against others, fighting war. If left unchecked, they might lead to authoritarian governance. So increased cyber risks are created by businesses who are increasingly using smart connected technologies to innovate, transform, modernize, and otherwise make tactical or strategic business decisions. Apple will tell you, no, I don't want to make this visible for Microsoft. Microsoft will say, no, I don't want Google to. So everyone is playing politics, that limits and restricts and creates viruses into others so that others can be ahead of others? Do we have check for this? No, because we live in a capitalist world. So these are the all problems that has been created that needs to be checked upon. So it brings us to the practices of Industry 5.0. Keep an accurate inventory of all operational technology, access in real time, marry the best IT and OT, as an integrated defense strategy across all attack surfaces. How you identify and fix outdated system, unpatched vulnerabilities, and poorly secure files. Now it talks about funding also from either the government or from the agency, because we tend to overlook the security risk. We tend not to employ the right people or the people that will help us with security. And we have many of them, but we don't, until we enter problem that will cost us more before we start looking for these people. Prevention is better than cure. When we enter the cure, it becomes more problem, because once your system is attacked once, it can be attacked twice. So we take a security first approach to the deployment of new connected systems. So we remain vigilant to spot potential threats, company threats, nation threats, with real-time vulnerability assessment and risk-based prioritization. So that you can see before a missile is fired, you can detect where it's coming from. When you can detect and also counter it. These are all the things we are leading to. Because the world, someone says, I will not help you, I want to take your country by force. Then you don't have to sit down and say, come and take my country. I'm ready to fight you inside. No, before you start the war should have started. That is the technology suppliers. Connected equipment, manufacturers, how do we commit to regular security and software patches and audits? So threat intelligence, including monitoring of the dark web, can also act as an early warning system to uncover planned attacks. Thus, our organization tends to preempt a breach and take immediate action to protect their digital corporate assets and physical infrastructure. So I'm rounding up now that applications of industrial smart grid, for example, this area I told you is huge area of investment, huge area of research. A cognitive power plant in Africa will use artificial intelligence and technology developed by Beyond Limits to monitor facilities operation. We can use artificial intelligence to even predict how much energy is going to be used in the village. We need artificial intelligence to predict what kind of power, where the power will break down in 1 week, in 2 weeks, in 1 month. What can be done in terms of this? How do we do the shutdown prevention? How do we unify subsystems? How do we optimize operations? How do we have time optimization, proactive maintenance, and agility, safety, and checking environment so that we know what we are doing? That's why I said energy and AI is huge area of investment. Conclusion, an intelligence system continue rising to the surface. Industry 5.0 presents an opportunity for society to become more efficient. Not just efficient, but ability to encourage and enhance the relationship between humans and robots in cyber-physical domain, while also relying. And I'm looking at a world where our jet will be flying by robots, not humans. Our war machine will be flying by robots with artificial intelligence that can control from the base station. So the World Economic Forum on the 13th of March stated that the slow pace of change in academic institutions between the crises had been apparent. So that is why the bulk of the game of research is back to us researchers. Because like you have seen what COVID had done, COVID had become a catalyst for education institutions worldwide to search for innovative solutions, technical as well as pedagogical, in a relatively short period of time. Are we up for the task? Are we already building up so that we don't have a COVID problem again? AI could engender better, more informed decision making during these crisis management scenarios. Privacy and security are key underlying concern for many citizens during the pandemic, after the pandemic, and even in Industry 5.0. Thank you very much. I can take any question now if anyone has.
If anyone wants to ask any question from Dr. Celestine Ivandi, please ask. Thank you, sir, for the informative session about Industry 4.0, Industry 5.0, Next Generation AI. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the valuable session.
Thank you.
Now I would like to invite Dean Academics GIPS, Dr. Neeraj Verma ma'am. She did her doctorate from Shiksha Anusadhan University, Bhubaneswar, M Pharma from Bundelkhand University, B Pharma from UPTU, D Pharma from Government Polytechnic Lakhimpur. She has 17 years of research and training experience, and she has published 22 research papers, 2 books, and also have granted patents. She has also received Research Excellence Award, Women's Excellence Award, and many more. So please welcome Dean Academics GIPS Dr. Neeraj Verma ma'am for the vote of thanks for our keynote session persons. Please welcome ma'am. Ma'am, kindly unmute yourself.
Thank you, Dr. Richa. Honorable Chief Guest, Vice Chancellor AGTU, respected Guest of Honor Pro Vice Chancellor AGTU, Chairman Goyal Group of Institutions, our Director of different organizations, our a vote of thanks for today's session. I, on behalf of Goyal Group of Institution and the entire supporting organization, team, fraternity of engineering and pharmacy here together, and on my own behalf, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to our both speakers for gracing your important work and sharing with us your findings and opinion today. A big thanks to Dr. Gaurav Bansal sir for his effort towards his title More Idea. You told that creativity and curiosity both are important with mindfulness. Importance of ethics while using internet because internet never forgets. You focus the real meaning of communication, power of team and teamwork along with the demerits of insecurity. I may like to express our sincere thanks to Dr. Celestine Evandi sir for demonstrating creativity, mental qualities in your title that is Next Generation AI, Security Issues and Industry. You told about the industry security risk. You defined about the Industry 5.5 concept, AI 2.0 for sustainable future. We are all really inspired by your great words, sir. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to place and record our hearty thanks to our organization for the perfect logistic support and guidance. I also extend my thanks to our IT team for their enormous cooperation in the organization for this event. Well, friends, an event like this can't happen overnight. The wheels start rolling weeks ago. It requires planning and a bird's eye for details. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues of institutes who know their job and are result oriented. Lastly, but not the least, I would like to say thanks to all of you to join offline as well as online to this event. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for the sincere vote of thanks. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Piyush Pal, sir, from Mechanical Department for the announcement of technical tracks.
Thank you, Dr. Richa ma'am, for inviting me. Now it's time to announce about the technical tracks, and our first track will be started at 1:30 p.m. sharp, which contains session 1 and session 2. So all the presenters are requested to prepare his or her PPT and enter in the respective technical tracks with the help of Google Meet link, which is already given to you in your respective WhatsApp group. So all the very best. We will again meet you at 1:30 p.m. sharp. Thank you everyone for being with us. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, sir, for the information. At last, I would like to request all the participants to fill the Google form for attendance of day 1, and the Google form will be shared just after this session in your conference WhatsApp group. So please fill the Google form for the attendance. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being with us. We will again meet you in technical track 1 at 1:30 p.m. today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.